as well. Hey, Jill, how are you?
Good. How are you guys?
You as well. Hey, while we've got you here, if you have any questions or, yeah, this is the open office hours, so feel free to let us know what you need help with as far as White Label Suite goes, and we can go from there.
I literally bought this when it was still the other company, and I haven't delved into it yet. Every time I try, I get a little overwhelmed, and yeah. And I think the last,
Gotcha.
I don't know, the one guy, I don't know if he's on here yet, but that kind of overtook the last few trainings. I, it was hard to follow, so thought I'd just see what today was about.
Yeah, like I said, literally just open office hours. So, yeah, some people just dive right in and say, "Hey, I've got these questions or have this going on," or um,
And then
yeah,
the next thing
we
you
can
know,
start
45
wherever.
minutes went by, and yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So
But yeah, so where do you get stuck? You said you tried to dive in, it's a little overwhelming sometimes, or yeah, we'd
really,
love to
I
help you with
just
that.
really haven't played with it yet. I mean, yeah, I can figure out how to run you know, a list of some sort, but um, how you connect it, like to go high level and stuff, I have no clue how to do any of that.
Gotcha.
Like,
Let me
what
share my
do I do with
screen
it once I
here.
have this list, basically?
Yeah. So a couple different things you can do with that. Um
I'm gonna, my big screen is off to the side here, so sorry if I'm not looking at you here,
no, you're
but
good. I'm looking at different screens as well, so no worries. Yeah, so once you've got a list, and I'll just go into any one of these I've got here. Um, have you connected high level yet or
no, I don't even know how to do
okay,
that yet.
perfect. We'll start there. So
Okay.
under your profile in the bottom left corner here, there's going to be a tab for integration.
Okay.
And we call it obviously high levels app, which is lead connector, and that's because we're a white label platform. So um, when you go to white label this, and you don't put a different name on it, people will only see lead connector, which most people are used to using to connect to their sub account. So you'll click
So
on that.
that's why I even got
Um,
stuck because I didn't know that go ahead level, that's where you would click. So on
yeah,
that even basic part, I was like, I don't know what to do here. I don't see it, you know.
yeah, all good. And we've got a couple other native integrations like Keep, kind of like high level
Right,
Groove is the same thing.
right.
But yeah, once you
Okay.
click on there, it'll ask you to log in, and once you do that process, I won't go through that because it'll have me connected again. But you'll log in, put your information in there. It'll ask you which sub account to connect to, and once you do that, um, you should see down here whatever the name of your sub account is and the CRM that says high level. Once you've connected that,
Okay. So I don't have a sub account. It's go high level through Funnel Gorgeous, which is a white label of go high level.
yeah, you should still be able to connect that to this
Okay. So yeah,
because
I
you're not
don't have an
connecting an
agent.
agency. You're just connecting
No.
a sub account. Yeah.
Right. Right. Okay. All right. Well, now I know what to click on and where to go there. So,
There you go. And then the next thing I was going to show you is once you've got, you've run a search, there's a couple different ways to send data to that sub account.
okay.
And I'm just in an example list here. You can click on the contact and click on this little arrow here, and you can select your sub account, and that's how you can send data over manually. You can also automate this through the AI agent. And when you've got an agent created, there's an option to send to app, and you can select your sub account from there as well. When you're having the AI agent run searches for you and sending it to your sub account. So, a couple of different ways once you've got that connected to send data over to your
Okay.
sub account.
Okay. All right. That'll get me a little further than where I've gotten.
Yeah,
And then I'll get stuck again.
no worries. We've also got Carla, if you wouldn't mind dropping the link in the chat, we've also got a couple options for group onboardings during the week as well. So if you wanted
Okay.
to go through everything step by step, um,
Yeah,
we've got those onboardings available.
that'd be great. So
Cool.
I just have felt like I just didn't know what to do, so I did nothing.
Yeah, no, we definitely don't want you to be there. So let's get
And
you on
so
one of
like,
those
yeah, I've spent
onboardings and
money and
yeah.
it's not been used. So
Yeah, onboarding will definitely help you go through step by step. Office hours are, hey, I'm stuck here, which is good. We were able to help solve that problem for you. But yeah, the onboardings will go through every single aspect of the platform. Good. So yeah, this is the screen you should see here. So we've got it on looks
okay.
like Monday and Thursday. There's a couple different time slots.
Okay. Great. Perfect. I know a
Cool.
lot more than I did before this all started.
There you go.
So, yeah. Like at least I have
Awesome.
a plan to go somewhere.
Cool.
Yeah,
Well,
thank
yeah,
you.
let us know if you have other questions. Ron, looks like you got your hand raised. So go
I
ahead.
got two questions. Well, I'm sure there'll be more, but primary questions. Um, so can we connect to sub accounts outside of our agency?
Yes, you can.
So once we do that, we just when we just go to the integration, we just make sure that it's signed into their sub account when we go to make the connection. So when you're connecting the CRM, it's actually connecting at the sub account level, not the agency level, and then you pick the sub account.
You're connecting at the sub account level. Yeah,
Okay. Because maybe just when I connect, I see all my sub accounts at the agency level. So I've never connected to somebody outside of my agency. So I will give that a try. Can we talk about the wallet a little bit
sure.
now that it converted over to dollars? Um, when we see the wallet in the sub account, no, we set up the plan at the agency level. So if I'm setting
Correct.
up the
Yeah.
plan and they're not going to pay for it. Let's say I'm charging them a different way, but I have to be able to put money in their wallet for them to use it, right? So let's say
Yeah.
let's say I tell them, "Hey, I'm gonna bake leads into your subscription. Your subscription is going to be $1,000 a month, and it's going to include 500 leads a month, right?" Um, when I bake that in, I'm still gonna have to set up a plan that has their pricing, right? They might just not see it. So I would just give them it because what I saw was there's two different places. There's pricing and then there's a one-time bonus. But how do they get recharged?
So that's going to be under the balance here. And that dollar amount is available whether you do it as, hey, I'm giving somebody
Okay.
access to the account every month or every year, or one time.
Okay.
One time could be they always have access to the account, but
Mm-hmm.
maybe I make that balance zero and they always have to uh pay for their wallet as they go.
Okay. And then if they're going to pay as they go, they'd have to actually have access. So again, I'm trying to not ever have them have to log into white label suites.
Okay.
But if I wanted to charge them as they go, they're gonna have to have access to this wallet at some point to attach a credit card to it.
Um, yeah,
How am
if
I
you
going
want
to
to do
build?
it that
How am I
route,
going
but
to build them?
what you could do,
Because this wallet does not connect directly to their Go High Level wallet, so I can't. I can't just build them here and then have it build, I can't create there's no connection. So
Right.
what I had to do at Exact Match was I always had to have them logged into two different accounts, which it wasn't that
Okay.
big of a deal because really what they did was they would just log into Exact Match, set up the wallet one time, and then just put your card on, and then I would just tell them, right? And then we knew we had that, and then Exact Match pre-billed them. So I would always tell them, okay, we're going to sign you up for 100 leads. Here's the bill rate. You're going to pay, $100, and I'm charging $100 to your account, and we're launching the campaign today, and the campaign is going to run until it gets 100 leads for $1 a lead.
Gotcha.
But they never came back over here. So I'm just thinking, those are the two different scenarios. I just wanted to make sure that I was doing it right. That once I set their plan up, their plan will be in their sub account, and then I'll have to have them come in and add their credit card in order to make sure it's charging them directly.
Yeah. Charging them directly through this wallet. I was gonna say otherwise you could, and I don't know how you have that billing set up with them, whether they're like, are they paying a monthly subscription to you or
Well, that's what I'm trying to figure out right now. I'm trying to figure out
yeah,
what is the cleanest pathway. If I charge them, if I charge them as they go. So right now, our business in the box offer at tier 3 includes the lead piece, but it's currently set up as a pay as you go lead piece. And so when I was using Exact Match, that's what I did, right? They had their GoHighLevel account. When they decided they wanted, if they decided at level 3 business in a box, yes, I want to start running leads now. Because when you're first building their account, they're not, for the first 30 or 60 days, you're just building the account, right? So
yeah.
there's no reason to charge them. There's no reason to bake it in. Um, so what I would do is I'd have them come into Exact Match, sign into Exact Match, add their credit card, and then every time we ran leads, we would just tell them, "Hey, it's going to do it." And then I did it for them. They never came in, they never logged into they never logged into Exact Match.
Okay. All right. Yeah. So
Same setup.
I think it would be. I'm just trying to see like how that would.
I mean, you tell me how. That's how Exact Match was. You tell me right now. Are you telling me that if I set them up here, that where do they get charged for? How do they pay for this?
Well,
Or
that's
is the
why I was
plan
saying
right
if
now that
they're
the agency owner would be paying for it?
in your scenario, that's what I'm thinking. It would be you paying for that.
But if we're going to do a markup, so tell me, remove me from the equation. Currently,
Hmm.
I sign up a sub account, I connect it, and I tell them I'm going to charge you $2 a lead. Right? That's my markup. My markup is whatever kind of lead it is, they're going to get charged $2 a lead. The other thing was I didn't realize here is that how do we set up? How do they know which type of lead they're paying for? Is that under features?
Um,
So it says
what
per
do you mean?
markup. So how do they
Yep.
know if they're paying for a person search or a local search or a keyword search?
When they run the search, but you're saying you do the searches for them?
Yeah, I'm going to run the searches for them. So I would just configure when I go to I haven't really been in here at all other than setting up the first the one plan that I have. So under configured,
Yeah.
run me through configure real quick.
So this you could turn
Ah,
it on
okay.
for
So
every
here, okay. So
yeah.
the configuration is where we pick the type of search, and then we're going to apply a markup based on each individual product
Yeah, or you can just
or
set a
feature.
default across the board and say, hey,
Okay.
every
They all
search
get
that's
charged
run is a
1.5
dollar.
or whatever.
Yep.
Okay. So that happens. Then the client would have to come in and put their credit card in here in order to pay for it.
Yes, they would. Unless you wanted to, unless you wanted to charge them. And if they use the balance out of your wallet, they could still run, or you could still run those searches for them. It would just take it from your wallet if you gifted them that balance.
Okay. All right. No, no, I'll do it the way I was doing it with Exact Match. They'll come over here one time and I'll just tell them this is a wallet you're going to have. But then they'll still see the incremental charge. They're just going to see an incremental charge from another source, right?
Right.
That's where the confusion starts to happen, I think, right? Because they have selective memory. People that are paying you have selective memory. All right.
Yeah.
I think those were really the primary things that I'm working through as we work through exactly what we're doing and then the different plans. And then um how do they decide? So like in high level it says once my wallet gets down to 50 or $10, recharge it. Would we just set it up instead of doing monthly? We would just set it up to okay, got it. And that was under where? In their wallet?
Under my wallet. So when you have them add their wallet, they would have to go to this option
Okay.
anyways.
All right. And this is where
And
they would add
yeah,
their card. And this is where
add
they
their
say, okay, this is
card.
how I want my wallet to fill. Okay.
Yeah, and you could just
Got it.
say, "Hey, here's a drop down. Just select
Yep.
this and top up to
Yep.
that." That way, they're
Yeah.
not guessing on the numbers either, because people will put, whatever they think.
No,
Um,
I walk them through. I
yeah,
tell them what to put there. Um,
yeah,
okay, so they do a $50 wallet. They tops off at 20, and then I would just go back and then so there's no reoccurring. It was monthly, yearly, or one time. What
one
would I
time.
pick?
Yeah. So you would pick one time. That way, there's no. That way, the wallet doesn't reset every
Okay, so
month or
that's
every year.
time. Okay, got it. So the
Yeah,
one time considers a one time. As soon as the wallet gets down to $20, it recharges it.
exactly. Yep.
Okay. And that could happen several times throughout the month or depending on their usage.
Yeah, usage, volume, whatever they've got. Yep.
Okay. I have something else, but I want to if somebody else has questions, I can wait until somebody else asks whatever they need to ask.
Yeah, all good. Rory, I see you got your hand up.
Yeah, g'day. Just wanted to quickly ask something. Can I share my screen? Because I just wanted to go through
Go
something
for it.
that was switched over. Yeah, what's it doing? Okay, so hopefully you can see my screen. Can you see my screen?
Yes.
Yeah, so I'm just logged in with one of my clients' sub accounts, which is good. I've got the markup here so they can see what they're paying per lead. One thing I noticed though is if I go back to my own one, this is just around demos and stuff. I don't know if there's a way we can get around this, but if I go to lead search, you can see my raw costs. So I'm charging my client, say 70 cents there, and it's got the raw cost there. Is there any way I can hide that? Because obviously I don't want people to be able to see what I'm paying wholesale and be able to reverse engineer my margins.
Yeah, I would create a demo sub account
Oh,
and
okay.
do your demo, yeah, through there. That way they see the markup and they don't see your other options too, because you've got admin and resources, and that might be confusing when they log in and say, "Hey, I've only got two options." Um, so I would do the demo account and just run through everything with them on that one.
Okay. If I create a demo account, can I draw down on this amount of money, or do I need to fill a separate wallet?
Yeah, you would give yourself I would do just like I was talking to Ron about the one-time plan. I would create a one-time for yourself and add the balance. Maybe you start off with $20 for that demo account, add that balance to that demo account, and that way you can show people too, like how the wallet works and how when you run a search, this is what it looks like, and um, that will deduct from your balance, but that's the best way to do it.
So it can deduct from this balance here?
Yeah. When
Yeah.
you, it's just like when we had credits and you would add credits to somebody's sub account, it would subtract them from yours. It's the same
Oh,
concept
okay.
with the dollars. Yeah.
Okay. I'm not quite sure. I might have to have a tinker with it and then maybe raise a support ticket if I get stuck. But Yeah.
I can show you how to do it right now. If you go to admin and go to one of your sub accounts,
Okay. Yep.
we won't save it. That way it doesn't add the balance, but pick
Yep.
anybody and just click on the edit button for them. So
Okay.
maybe Iverson there.
Yep.
And what you'll go to is if you scroll down to the bottom
Yep.
and you click on additional balance, here's where you put $10, $20,
Okay. So if I
something
put
like that.
20,
And then,
that's $20 like
yeah,
that. Yep.
yep. And then under additional request time, you just want to say, hey, I'm going to give myself that $20 for a year. So you've got access to it.
Okay.
Um, so it doesn't expire.
Yeah. So if I just do that, it's $20. I don't care. I'll just do it now. Um, that's that, is it? So now,
Now that's added to the balance. I didn't see what it was before, but that should be an additional, maybe it was
okay.
$105 before you had there. Yeah,
Yeah.
looks
Yeah,
like.
that would be right. Yeah. Okay. So it's added in. Yeah. And so I could
And then
use,
that
yeah.
will subtract. If you refresh your screen, it should go from 44.92 to 44.72, I think, in your balance.
Okay. I might have already deducted it or something.
Might have already deducted, yeah.
Yeah.
But that's where that it'll always deduct from your wallet when you give away dollars like that.
Oh, okay. That's good to know. All right. Cool. Thanks for that. That's all I
Yeah,
had, really. I just, yeah, something I noticed. I suddenly thought, oh, hang on. Now with the change from credits to dollars, now people can see behind the curtain
right.
potentially. I don't want that.
Yep.
Cool. All right. Good
Yeah.
one.
So demo count, best way to handle that. You can also, if you didn't want to use any, let me share my screen here real quick. If you didn't want to use any dollars, you have the option to create lists as a demo. It's going to run dummy, data, but it's
Oh,
still going to
okay.
show people how it works. It's not going
Oh,
to be
okay.
blank, but when you run a search, it'll be dummy data. It'll always be the same data when you run the search, but at
Oh,
least
okay.
there won't cost you anything and you won't have to, set up the wallet for that if you didn't want to. But so that's an option as well.
Okay. That's good to know too. Yeah. Awesome. I think that's pretty much all I had for today.
Cool. All
Thank you.
right. Yeah, no problem. Cindy, I see you got your hand raised.
Hey, um, I wondered if you could help me do a search for some ideal clients for my customer. Um,
Sure. Who are we looking
should I
for?
share a screen or what's good?
Yeah, let's do that. We'll walk you through it.
Okay, thanks. Okay, so I have a customer that sells, most of my customers sell video and audio equipment um, to either like TV facilities or in this case, this company Heartland sells to like universities. They also sell to like corporate companies and they sell to churches that do video production. So I brought up a sample kind of person for each of those.
Okay.
That I just brought them up in LinkedIn so you could see like a title and I don't know, the real person exists in that type and wondering
Yeah.
what would be the best way to do that.
Perfect. Yeah. If you want to go back to LinkedIn, who are those
Mhm.
examples you've got there?
All right, so here's an example. This guy Scott, he works at J.C. Penney, which is a big department store in the U.S. And he runs all the video there. It's not for their TV commercials; it's for like their internal communication. For example, another kind of
Okay.
place would be like Meta, that would have a video production department that's making videos internally for the company. Um, for education, here's a example of somebody who works as a director producer at a university in the US. And let's see, what else did I do? Oh, this person works at a church as a production director at the church. And so you can see the titles there. So that's just some of the example people. This is more back to the corporate video production technician at Harley Davidson, which is a motorcycle company, which I'm probably
Okay.
saying stuff, you know. But anyway, those are examples of people that would be great if they came up on a search like that. So
Yeah.
I put the three different verticals, if you will. And then I was like, how should I've played around with the search and sometimes I have luck and sometimes I don't. So I thought I'd come to this call and get your help.
Cool. Which one would you want to start with out of those three you've got set up there?
Um, well, let's do the churches.
Okay,
Anyone is good, but
perfect. And that, sorry, can you go back to the church example? What was the title that that
absolutely.
person had
Oh, they're all sort of
on
video
the
producer,
LinkedIn?
video
Yeah,
engineer. Let's see what this guy's exact title was.
video producer, technician, director. Okay,
His
that's
is
what it was.
production director. So video production is sort of a possible good title, but yeah.
Okay. Yeah, so let's go back to White Label Suite and we'll start a new search in that list that you have for the
Okay.
churches. And if you, yeah,
Okay.
just click on Start New Search.
Mm-hmm.
And under description, so think of this as exactly kind of how LinkedIn has it laid out there. So you
Mm-hmm.
saw in their title, it was either their title or kind of an example of what they do. So that's the best way to
Uh-huh.
think of the description. It's not necessarily like a field that has to have an exact keyword match something. So yeah, video production director or video production or technician, however they kind of describe what they do. But the thing is, you're going to want to enter one description at a time.
Got
So
you.
that way, yeah, that way it helps the system
Okay.
understand like who you're looking for. Location can be anywhere, but if you only work with certain people in, specific regions or areas, then you want
We'll
to
say
narrow that down
US.
here.
I'll say US for
Okay,
these guys. Um,
perfect.
and where do I put the part about church in the description? Because you were thinking of a house of worship applications. Because if I say video production, that could be like literally any kind of company.
You're right. So, if you want to narrow it down with that, let's go to the advanced filters.
Okay.
And this is going to help us select industry as well as what was the other one I was thinking of? So either industry or company industry. So we could see if there's maybe a way to describe that in either of those. And you literally just type in there, and it'll come up with the um, the different keywords that you can put in there. Um, so maybe
Nothing
try
for
that one in
church.
industry.
Okay. Okay.
Because those are company specific, so industry will let you get a little broader than that. So maybe we can see if there's um, church or um, I don't know if
Yeah.
religion would pull that up. I'm not sure how they would classify that in this particular
I'm
filter.
thinking church or house of worship would be like what I would normally think of. But I'll try religion because hey, why not? Religious organization.
Religious
Sure.
organizations. There we go.
All
Yep,
right, let's do it.
perfect. So now we've got the description of who we're looking for. Industry is, hey, they need to match at least something similar to this industry, if not that industry. You've got the United States selected. From here, I wouldn't do anything else. I would run the search and see what comes back.
Okay.
So go ahead and click continue. All right. So no results for that one. Let's go back up to the description
Okay.
and let's do, what was the other one? Technician. Maybe video technician would help us find
That's
that
pretty
person.
narrow, I would think. Um,
Okay.
I mean, video, I
What was
guess.
the other? What's that?
Let's see. I don't know, video or media or something like that. Production director. Um,
Yeah, there's also
yeah.
event production,
Which
media.
we're not doing
Um,
event production specifically. It would be more the video, you know, part of it. But we could try event production, I guess.
Yeah, just
Okay.
to see if that helps pull those people back.
All right. Event production it is. Let's try it. I'll try media maybe.
Yeah, let's see if media pulls anyone back there.
Okay.
I'm also looking at some other keywords. Let's see here.
Ah, here we've got media
Oh, okay. So media
a little
producer for
bit.
good faith group. These are groups. Here's media Presbyterian Church. I see there head of staff media.
Uh-huh.
What was that other one here? Global outreach.
Ooh,
All
so
right,
a
so
few
it's
of them
starting
could be
to,
okay.
yeah.
So would I just pick the ones that seem good and not the rest, or
Yeah, from here, so the reason I said, hey, let's only stick with those filters is this kind of gives you an idea of, and this only pulled back 10. If you scroll back up to the top, um, yeah, keep going up just a little more results limit. I would expand that to maybe 20 or 50 and
There was
see, yeah, let's do that.
234 in the bottom of that search, Kyle. There was 234
Oh,
that came
was there?
over. Yeah, look in the
I didn't
bottom.
see that number.
Total results
Oh, okay.
234.
So, yeah, we could actually keep clicking through those different pages. So it's displaying 10 at a time. Um,
so I
and
don't
that's
want the online missionary volunteer, for example. Do I still end up paying for that? Or how does that
no,
work?
this
Do these
initial,
tick
yeah.
boxes?
So only when you tick the box and add it to a list, that's when you actually pay for the lead. Yeah.
Got you.
So this is the
Got you.
preview. So we
Thanks.
were able to find a total of 234 here. This is what Ron was talking about. Um, oh,
I
sorry, I
don't
drew
know
on
what
somebody.
I don't know what
Um,
this is. Like this is a huge, I mean, a lot of the names
probably
so
looks
far.
like a large, yeah, organization.
I
Catholic
see.
agency focused on news and content. All right. Yeah.
Okay. 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 Got you.
But yeah, what
Okay.
Ron was referring to is that um sorry, if you scroll back down, this number here, and now we're displaying 10 per page. So if you keep clicking over here on these pages, we can actually go through those 234 results and yeah, see if there's anybody else that matches who you're searching for.
Okay.
And then I would tweak the keywords from there to say, okay, we got kind of close with this. Maybe there's some
Mm-hmm.
other, maybe it's church media, maybe it's a combination of a couple of different things. And
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
that will help you, just get better results there as you go.
Okay. That sounds good. And then once I tick the boxes and I would tick add to list and then it adds
Yeah.
them to
And
the
that
list, I
will
guess.
actually, exactly. And that will keep you on this page. And until you go here on go to list, that will take you to that list of people you selected and you'll be able to view all the data from there.
Well, if she went to more filters from here, could she filter positions from here based on these 234 instead of scrolling through the entire list? Could we filter right from more filters right there?
Yeah, you would just select, so if you scroll back up and any of these filters here, um, you would go through
What
there
about
and then,
the more filters button right at the top of the list? Instead of going back here, we already pulled the initial query. This button right here, more filters. So so here's where we talked about like is not volunteer, right? Like she said she didn't want to see volunteers, right? So this is where we're trying to manage like how do we use it? How do we use it to manipulate a negative keyword, right? Like eliminate all the people that say volunteer. So if she does that, will does the filters applied now that theoretically that the list on the bottom should change, right? It should be less than 234.
yeah, if there were any, was there any volunteer ones that we saw?
I
There
saw a
Oh,
were.
that
couple that
was
said
originally what you
volunteer.
had said, right, Cindy?
I saw
Sorry,
some in the
Cindy, I'm
list that
just
said
You're in a
No, I'm with
position
you,
where
man.
we're
You're right there. I was going to go negative. Can I do negative search term? So you and I are on the same page.
Yeah, so that would be done through more filters. Yeah, what I was referring to, if you scroll back up to the advanced ones, was just like adding different positions as well, and then hitting continue and seeing if that helped also narrow anything down or expanded that list at all, or yeah, provided more results.
And this is, I mean, to Ron's point, do negative titles happen here or only in that other area?
No, that's everything that you want to come back. The filters are going to filter out anything that you don't want to appear.
Okay. So if I don't want merchandiser, but my search results are still 234. Does that make sense?
No. So I don't know if that
Okay.
is, yeah, I don't know if
But
that's
it took
running
the
through.
merchandiser off.
It did remove that person.
It did. Let me just see if
Maybe once you click
no.
through. No.
Hmm.
Okay.
I don't need
So I don't
a
know if the numbers
shipper.
changed at
Hmm.
all or if it found some more.
That'd be weird. But okay.
or that's not updating. So it's so basically what I think it's doing, Kyle, it's telling us that the list is a total of 234, but now you're applying filters. So the total list number is not changing. We're just pulling the people off the list that you don't want to see. We're just applying the filter, right? So
Right.
this total doesn't change it because if I remove the filter, it's a list of 234, but because you're applying the filter, I'm only displaying the ones that you want based on the filter you're applying.
Makes sense.
So it just goes back to that conversation we had earlier about, at what point does the negative search become valuable and how much juice is that, how much squeeze is worth to get that juice in order to add that feature. So if it works on the title section, I don't want it here. I mean, this isn't bad, but if you were doing this multiple times for multiple clients, you can see where that would be, there'd be a lot of clicks and every time we're adding a click, we're adding a potential to miss something, right? We're going to get interrupted. Oh, I wanted to remove that, but I didn't. Now that list comes over. Now I pay for the lead. There's that friction.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't know if this is a good time to make a note and say, here's another case of we don't currently have a negative word option. And as we continue to go through different types of searches, is negative word something that we eventually might want to add as part of this global or this top section of the, how to filter
Some
or how to run the
Boolean
search.
Yeah.
choices.
Yep. I'm just making a note of that now.
And so this, I see religious organizations here for corporate video. When I think about Harley Davidson, Walmart, JCPenney, every business on the planet that has video, I'm wondering what search term I might use for
Um,
that.
yeah, and that would honestly be in department, just because that's normally how the
Department.
corporations
Okay.
set that up. Yeah,
Ah, okay. So that's going to be
I worked for Sam's Club for 6 years. It was all departments.
Sam's Club.
Yeah,
Exactly.
yeah,
Sam's Club. Totally. So that's going to be here. So video department or something like that.
yeah.
Hmm.
Or I think theirs was all under, if I remember right, the home office. They had a media department. They had a PR,
Hmm.
um,
So
stuff like that. Or
that's where Claude comes in, right? Like do a Claude search and say, "Hey, give me a predictive result based on this ICP and how is this ICP going to be at a corporate level? What department might these people be found in?"
Well, video or media is what I'm thinking. But yep, we'll go see if
yeah,
we can come
It'd be
up
a
with
no
some other
search, right?
ideas.
right. Yeah, I would that's a good point, Ron. I would definitely, yeah, consult with Claude on that one and see what all they call their different departments or inner departments or areas, however they define that.
Okay, I'll do that. I mean, I know the space because I used to sell in this space, so it's not like a foreign world. But yeah, I'll take some Claude. Why not?
Yeah, cool. Alrighty.
All right, thank you.
You bet. All right, cool. Ron, you said you had one other question?
Yeah, I'm trying to I'm trying to dial into the assistants, right? So I think I got agents pretty much understood, but when we're building assistants and we want to really kind of say, hey, we have a client and we're really going to dial into the personalized content. So I want to build some assistants that are going to do specific things. Can you run me through that really quick? Like, okay, we're going to create the assistant here, but then how do I assign that assistant to pull to be in the AI build in the agent builder?
Yeah, great question. So under AI tools, is where the AI assistant lives.
Yep.
And you can see from here, like, I built this custom one called author. I had another one for
Yep.
contextual subject line, all of our default ones. And then you click on create new, and this is where you're going to actually write the prompt for that specific use case.
Yep.
Um, and then you also want to make sure that if it's something that you don't want to fit into any of these boxes here, you make it a custom prompt.
So let's just talk
Um,
about that drop down list really quick,
yeah,
right? So let's say I want to say I do want it to be part of the summary. Would I just add it and then it would be another? So I'm assuming that I'm going to add it here and then I'm going to how do I because then how do I change it in the agent unless I'm missing a drop down in the agent?
if you so do you have a prompt you've created already
Not yet.
or no? Okay. So I'll actually show you just based on the one I have for author. We'll just use
Okay.
that
All
as an
right. Cool.
example.
Yeah.
And if we go over to AI agent and all of the actions for that are going to be down here under content creation. And because I created that as a custom prompt, it will be a custom action for the custom AI. And I would choose that author one right
Ah,
here.
okay. Okay.
Yeah,
And then that would be the same thing as if I added it to summary, how would I know that I added a prompt to the summary? Would it just continue adding to the summary prompt as a global change?
it would.
So
Yeah.
when you created the AI assistant, it had the other ones already there, right? Instead of using custom, let's say I would have selected intro, right?
Yeah. Then you would choose that prompt under here. I don't have
Okay,
one
so
for
it's going
that,
to create
but
a new, it's going to add it to the list under AI intro.
exactly. Yep.
Got it. All right, beautiful. That's it. That was it. Because again, you know the project I'm working on, so I'm going to be building that out, and those are some of the things that we're really looking to do is really dial in and say how can we really leverage that? And I'm going to be building it for my DBR, right? So how do I go into my DBR and I want to create a specific assistant that's going to say, hey, I want you to use context in the intro about the fact that we were at this conference together. And then in the summary, I want you to talk about this, right? And then yeah, so that's really I think there's going to be a lot of leverage there, and I'm hoping that that's going
Yeah.
to some good is going to generate some good custom field data that we can then pull into the chat GPT action and go high level.
Yeah. There you go. Exactly. And if you wanted to, and this is getting a little more advanced, but if you wanted to do any prompt chaining, that's you can also do that here inside of the AI assistant. Meaning, if something gets generated, I want to create a prompt that refers to that generation from another prompt. and create something out of that. And then that produces a different result as well. So that's also a possibility. A little more advanced, but I have had that question before about prompt chaining, and that's definitely possible.
And very cool, right? Because if people aren't, people are kind of tracking on what I'm talking about. I mean, these are ways to really leverage the AI builder at no additional cost, no additional feature cost,
Yeah,
right? Because I can
exactly.
build, the way I understand this is I can build as many additional custom prompts as I want and drop them into the AI builder, which is going to generate more customer aware communication at no additional charge.
And that agent can run as many times as you want at no additional charge either. So, like, we don't charge by how many times the agents run, how many prompts it uses, anything like that. So, the only
Because
thing,
this is running off of the base cost for the record found.
exactly. Yep.
When would I use some of these enrichment prompts if I wasn't already using them in the search? So the
Um,
prompts lower down here where it says like get phone number, all these enrichment
um,
prompts.
yeah. So these ones here, I think the one I've got selected for people search is just going to be get phone number. And that is so normally when you do a search, when it pulls up the records, I'll go to list here so you guys can see what I'm talking about. Um, and I want to get a phone number for this person here.
Mhm. I would
That's
hit it here.
Yeah. So instead of doing it manually here, you would set that step up in the AI agent for that additional enrichment.
Okay, because that's not something that's being set up at the initial when you set up the list. You're not telling it to enrich it unless I clicked all the names here and then hit the data enrichment from here.
Exactly. Yep.
Okay,
So you want to
so the
make
way
sure you got that step
I made it,
in
the way
in
I
here
made
if
it
you
from
need
there.
it.
So the default is it doesn't on a people search, it does not pull their phone number.
No, it does not. That's an additional enrichment.
Okay. So that's where we would drop it here. And then by dropping it here, it changes the total price per record to 48, but it's only going to charge me the additional 12 when it actually finds a number.
Correct. Yep.
So the better place to put that
Um,
would be right after the people search. That enrich that
yeah, I would
enrichment
put that
that enrichment node would go right
literally
after
right
the.
here.
Hey, it took me a minute to figure out how to disconnect the nodes. Like actually more than a minute. I really had to expend moral capital because I had to have asked Jeff, which always costs me something. Um,
Oh, gotcha. Yeah.
So there's really no instructions here. I mean, I don't know how many people intuitively would know once I'm dropping these boxes, if I want to move any of them or disconnect any of them, that you have to highlight the line and then click on it to remove it.
Yeah. And I was just thinking about not many people would say, "Oh, if I remove this node, oh, all my work is gone."
Yep.
Yeah. I was just thinking about that one too.
So
Because
just,
everything starts with this node. And as you guys noticed here, like as soon as I selected that, you can't do anything else in that search because you can only have one
one
search
search per
action run
node.
at a time. And if it doesn't relate to any of the enrichment for that search, you can't do that either.
Got it.
Um, yeah, and now that's done on purpose because even our manual searches aren't set up that way. You can't just add a bunch of different things like that. But yeah, everything
Those
starts with the
things that I noted that like I think that goes back to that conversation, right? Like when the devs build something, they're just building it, and then there's certain assumptions. Like everybody that builds this knows that when you're going to connect a node, once you put it there, you got to click on the line, or if you want to move the sequencing, you've got to because we're literally
yeah.
going in, and that's what I was doing at first. I was like, oh, wait a second, I'm like 4 nodes down, and I want to change node number 2, so now I got to delete, 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 and then put it in the right order.
Right.
Like, no, just disconnect it. I was like, yeah, I was trying to disconnect it. I was about to get a hammer out.
Disconnected permanently. Yeah. Um,
Exactly.
and yeah, guys, we take all that feedback into consideration too. Like, these action steps or nodes, whatever you want to call them, They're now editable thanks to Ron. Because Ron's like, I want to name these different things. I want to understand what's happening at every step. So I don't have to click on everything and go back through and go, oh, okay, this is what this was actually doing.
Yeah, because now we can just
Yeah,
drop a naming convention in there, right? Because every client's going to be a little different. So now we
yeah,
can just start using naming conventions and making sure that the naming convention in this builder matches the naming convention that's going to be in my Go High Level workflow.
exactly. So like with Cindy's example, hey, this is searching for video technician, right? Video tech or video producer or whatever that ends up being. But now she knows that that's what that search is running for, and don't have to double click on it and go back through and go, wait, how did I set that up? What was that? Yeah. So
And then we can
this
duplicate these, right?
also,
Builders, right?
what's that?
We can duplicate the builders.
Yes. Um, you can duplicate any of these
Yeah,
agents that
yeah,
you
yeah.
create.
Yeah,
Yep.
that's the other place where it came into play. I'm like, okay, well, now if I want to duplicate this, but I want to maybe change the naming convention within that builder, and we were kind of like, I was like, oh, now I got to click on the box to remember what was this again?
Yep, exactly. And then having total spend out here so you can see, how everything is running, how many connections you have, actions you have, leads that have been generated. Um, that's all visible there. When it was last run, like this one on 5/7 at 4:23 in the morning. Um, so yeah,
All right,
multiple
that's all
things
I had.
there. Cool. Alrighty. And guys, yeah, feel free to raise your hand, unmute, chime in. Here to answer questions, solve problems, feedback, whatever you guys have.
Hey Kyle, I appreciate this. I got access to the system on a webinar several months back, and it was a one-time payment option. And now that I'm on this call, I'm learning a lot that, quite frankly, some of the stuff it looks like I don't have access to at this point, like the admin. So I want to find out how to get access to that because right now, the reason why I got on here when I first got on several months ago. I set up a couple campaigns, I guess you could say, a couple for myself, but also I set one up for a business coach who was looking for restaurants in a specific location, and that worked out pretty good for him. So now recently I sold to a couple other coaches that are working in different industries and different locations, and I completely forgot how to set them up, and I learned right here on how to go in and connect those additional sub accounts within my high level.
Yeah,
But I'm curious about the admin piece because obviously that's a different level than what I have access
it
to.
is. Yep. So the admin piece is for when you have access to actually white labeling the software. And I'm familiar with the plan that you bought several months ago that was just to use the AI and the search features. So it doesn't include the ability to white label or resell the software. We'd have to get you on a different plan for that. But yeah, basically what you don't have access to for that is just being able to white label it. So, being able to update any of the branding or the name of the app or, providing a login URL for your clients is the piece that you're missing there.
Yeah, and the other piece to that
Yeah,
too is that was confusing because at the time Walt was talking about, yeah, you can set up, and do this for multiple business owners and multiple clients, but everybody on the call was saying, yeah, but we only have one business profile and it's reading off of that one business profile. So how do we get past that? He never did answer that, and I haven't been able to find that. So what I've been doing is I just went in and created different, I think it's the different agent. Yeah, I created different no.
or are you talking about different prompts in the AI assistant?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that
that's
is
what I
one
ended
way to
up
get
doing.
around it. Yeah,
Yeah, so and that seemed to work, but now what you're saying, it looks like this additional level makes it much easier because they have their own they have their own account. Now the account knows their business.
Exactly. And then you can keep track of their own searches and their sub account, and it's much easier to track things. And then if they ever want to log in and do it themselves, you can provide that option. Um, so yeah, yep, that plan that you purchased at that time was, yeah, literally just access to the searches and the AI.
Which is cool. It's great. Works for me and it's working for the others too. But now I just sold,
Yeah.
I sold basically 75, what I'm calling a pre-nurtured lead injection, because
Okay.
that's what it's doing. It's reaching out to them with those emails that are going right into their high level sub account. So they're pre-nurtured. Some of them are replying, will reply back, but we can see who opened the emails. And I said, those are the folks you need to contact right away, other than
Yeah.
those that reply. And I sold that for a, pretty good price. And so I think that's a good lead in to get them into this additional system so that they have it themselves.
There you
And
go.
then
Yeah, that's
what are
perfect.
people charging for that?
Um, Really depends on the industry and what people are used to paying, per lead or for the software for that industry. Like insurance agents are going to be way different than, somebody who's just used to having a
Hmm.
SaaS subscription and logging in to something.
Yeah.
So yeah, it just depends. Who are your current clients right now?
Well, I
The ones that
primarily
you,
for the last 10 years, I've been a business strategist. And for the last seven, I've been a coach of coaches, if you will. So I'm networked with well over 800 business coaches around the world. And all of them, just like any other business, but specifically them and agencies, they're looking for clients to work with. They're looking for people to talk to. And so I've already got, easy 500 of them, their ears, they listen to what I say. And so this was something I was trying out, and I got a couple folks to give it a go and pay me for it. Most of them, quite frankly, don't want to do anything with the technology. So I'm thinking there would be two different price points there. One, a done for you, and a do it yourself.
and I would price it just like that, as simple as that. Two packages, two options, and leave it at that. And
Mhm.
um, whichever one that you want to, and I wouldn't make them like, a huge difference in price. I would make it
Right.
close enough to where people go, "Oh, yeah, I want Wally to just do it for me," and they just automatically
Mhm.
upgrade themselves, you know.
Yeah.
Um, so I would make that, more than $100 or $200 difference. So it's an easy decision. But I would stick to those two plans. And so you can either log in and do everything, or I've got a done for you option, and here you go.
Well, and the other thing too is, other reason why I came on here is because as a high level agency, I've got just over 20 of my own clients, and most of my clients, quite frankly, come from business coaches because they don't want to do the fulfillment. So I do that for them and their business owner clients, which helps them retain a client much longer. So I've got electricians, I've got contractors, general contractors, Mobility Plus franchise, and others. So, like for instance, the electrician, it's with a franchise as well. Um, I'm looking for ways to generate leads for him. He's primarily residential, but he does do commercial as well. And he also owns a solar business that's doing better than his electrician business. So I'm trying to get him some business with the as an electrician.
Yeah. They're not posted here yet because we're working on releasing these, but there's a couple new searches coming out. One of them being a website site ID. So if they've got, traffic running to their site, or whether that's paid or organic, that will help them be able to resolve those IDs on their site and generate leads from it. And these, they won't have to fill out a form or book a call. We're able to help identify who those people are and return those visitors as leads. And then we've also got a keyword research search coming out where somebody might be looking for that specific service, or at least at the point where they're starting to do that research, or maybe they've got history of purchasing those services before. And that, because primarily we've been B2B tool for the last 4 or 5 years, but that keyword search will get you into that consumer data, and it'll be a B2C solution at that point. So that might be something for your, service providers who, yeah, they might be commercial, but also want to tap into the B2C side without running, more ads. Could be a way for them to generate leads there as well.
Yeah, that's a good point. I recently started with some of those folks, those local businesses, the LSAs, because that's just freaking hot right now for those that can get LSA local service ads, Google local service ads. But also, ironically enough, one of my coaches was talking to a potential client, and he's part of a BNI, and somebody in the BNI is doing, his wife is doing that. When people go to the website, it captures their information. And I looked into it, and at one point, that was part of this system. And I saw it based on some old some training. I saw it right on the page
Yeah.
right here. There was a sixth box that said that,
Yep.
and then I asked about it, and they said, "Yeah, we took it off because this, that, and the other, but we're supposed to be coming back at some point, from what I understand."
It's yeah, it's coming back. So if not tomorrow, we'll have that live by Monday, actually.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And
Oh,
then we
wow.
also have a property search coming. This is a few more weeks out. It's currently in development. Um, but we were just talking about that on our call earlier today as well. And that one's really cool because you we'll give you the ability to not just search properties, but also skip trace information at the same time. And then there's another feature that will be included with that where we can help you tell within about 6 months when a property is ready to sell. Also, like tired landlord information, um, 400 points of data on just the property alone. Um, so yeah, lots of cool things coming here in the next few weeks.
Okay, very cool. And I'll have to upgrade to that other level to get access to that previous one we were talking about the websites, or is that going to be part of? I plan on
No,
upgrading
all
anyway. It doesn't matter.
yeah, all the search types are available no matter what plan you're on. It's just that to white label the system, you just have to get a white label plan. So
Okay. Do me a favor and send me some information on that if you could,
yeah,
or tell me who to reach out to.
no
And
problem.
Wally, as a business strategist, you know too, the pricing has a lot to do with what your client doesn't know they don't know, right? So chances are most of the clients don't even know what their cost to acquire is. So if they've never bought leads before, but they want more business, but you ask them, well, what's your cost to acquire now? How much would you pay if I can get you a lead? How much would you pay for that? A lot of them don't even know, right? A lot of business owners they just know I need business, and I go out and I find business, and I charge them what I think I should charge them or what they're willing to pay me. So the pricing model right now is pretty fluid for all of us because that's the piece, right? Like some of the businesses I have in
Mhm.
my agency have bought leads before, right? Some of the sub accounts in my agency have never bought leads before, but they want more lead gen. So it's really hard to come up with either a sliding scale or what do you want to build in order to scale my business. I'm thinking I don't necessarily want to get into the business of I really don't care how much you paid for a lead before. I want to use my lead gen as another way to make them sticky to my agency. Not I'd rather have a
Exactly.
I'd rather increase my lifetime value by adding a reasonably priced lead tool and continue
Mhm.
my business model to build my agency. But there's other people that are 100% looking at this as I'm just going to go sell leads. And the go high level piece on the back end is almost going to be really not a major component.
Yeah, yeah. Well, yeah, I see it. I see high level that back end always being an issue, being there because that's the follow up. That's where most businesses that I've dealt with over the years to spend money on ads and say I got screwed. Well, you're expecting to make a sale off of every lead that you get on the first interaction, and that's not going to happen. You got to have 7 to 21 touch points. That's why you need all the other, bells and whistles in the background. But that's why one of the things I was primarily leading with for quite a while, AI employee, but then what's the point if they're not getting enough calls? So then I started doing review management. And now I've got a couple folks I've been working on. I just was talking to the electrician today and showed him in 27 days how we got him from ranking number 2022 in a Google search. He's now almost 9. He's between 10 and 9. And I showed him the heat map. And he's like, how in the hell did you do that? I said, don't worry about it. Just keep paying me and we'll make it happen. And we're going to get you more calls. Right. And he's like, fine, cool. Plus he's running for office right now. Plus he owns a solar business. He ain't got time to worry about that, deal with any of this stuff. So that's why I want to get, you're spot on. They know how much they're spending on Google ads or YouTube ads or Facebook ads. They don't see the leads coming in from that because when they're not tracking it, they don't know if they're getting 2 or 20. But
But
when they
if they
see,
turn it off, if you
oh
turn it off,
yeah,
the numbers are going to go down, right? Because
yeah,
everybody thinks
yeah,
as soon as they start running paid ads, when their organic ads go up, they think, oh, my website started working now. Well, no, your website didn't start working. Your ad brought you top of mind. They just didn't act on the ad. And then they thought
mhm,
about you later, 2 days, 3 days, 5 days later. Then they found your website. So I opted in on your website. So it looks like an organic search, an organic lead, but it's not an organic
mhm,
lead. And they don't answer the
yeah,
questions, right? They don't ask the real questions like, how did you find me? Because chances are everybody says, I found you. If they connected with you by this device,
mhm.
9 out of 10 of those people say, I found you on Google. But
Or
the initial,
Facebook, because they're like, well, I'm always on Facebook, so I must have found you on Facebook, right? Something like that, but maybe not. And they're like, wait, I'm not running ads on Facebook. But anyway, okay. But that, and that's one of the reasons why one of the things I lead with is a database, an activation campaign for your dead leads. I always reference the Princess Bride. They're not dead, they're mostly dead, which means they still have some life in them. And I just activate them. I set it up for free. Once we
just
get them business, they're like, oh man.
Yeah, just sharing that with you though on the pricing. Like
No, I
we're
appreciate
all
that.
asking the same question, right? Like, how do we
Yeah.
price it, right? And Kyle used a good reference. When you have somebody who's normally buying leads, then you know what they're willing to pay for the lead. But for me, the way I want to grow my business, I don't want to grow my business just based on leads. Because the other thing we know about people who are lead finicky is they want a bunch of leads until they have enough business. Then what do they want to do? They want to turn their leads off, right?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
I
that's a
need
good
to
point.
add I need to add 30 new residential homeowners policies. Once they do that, they're done because now their boss is happy. They met their requirement, right? Now they say, well, turn the leads off. No, 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 no. The leads are never going to turn off. You can
Hmm.
stop running them, but you're never going to turn off all the other stuff that's happening, right? Like you said, the nurturing, the holiday campaign, the retouch for the Google reviews, all the other things that we're doing. So I'm more of the opinion right now that the leads, I'm not going to charge a bunch of money for the leads, right? These guys aren't killing us on them. There's no reason I need to kill my customer on
Hmm.
them. I'd rather make them super sticky and see the added value and have them continue pay month to month and be a lifetime client instead of being a one and done client and charge
That's
them
a
a
very
lot
good
more
point.
money.
Yeah, that's a very good point. I like that. Yeah, and
So
it's
that's very
interesting because even the leads I'm putting into the couple accounts that I have now, I label them as my business is Hydro Business Suite. So I label them as there's a tag, Hydro Lead. So they know I'm getting them leads and they're being nurtured.
I put it right in the notification.
Yeah. Oh, that's
Put it right in
awesome.
the internal notification,
Yeah.
the email in the text message. It says you have a new impact flow lead, and then whatever the offer is.
Very cool. Very cool.
Right.
I
So
like
the
that.
very first thing they see when they get notified is they have my company name and lead. You have a new impact flow lead for whatever the offer is, right?
Mhm.
Or you have a new impact flow opt-in for this from your website. So I put the company name right in the beginning. They cannot go by and see an internal notification and not think about my business. It didn't come from the ether. It came from this agency.
Yeah. Very good.
So that's that other connection piece.
Yeah.
Just
Thanks
wanted to share.
again. That's very helpful.
Awesome. Um, well, we're just 10 minutes past the hour here. If nobody has any other questions, we'll see you the same time on Tuesday is earlier during the day. So make sure you guys make a note of that. But awesome. Thanks, guys.